Are we live? We're live. We're live. Good morning, you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Bon dia from Aruba. How's everybody doing today? I'm gonna give everyone a moment to tune in, a moment to arrive, a moment to be here now. Um, it's Monday morning. It's Monday morning. It's not any other Monday morning, but it's a Monday morning. How's everybody doing? So we are live on yogagirl.com right now. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So every Monday, 10 a.m., we do a live class on the platform. We set an intention. We pull our card for the day or our card for the week. And I like to give a little journaling prompt or a moment of something to contemplate, something to self-reflect on, right? So it's been a minute since I sat here speaking in this way on social media. So it's been of course, a big week for everyone. Lots of learnings, lots of realizations, lots of action, right? For a lot of people, lots of discomfort, a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, a lot of things brought to light. There's been shame, guilt, everything under the moon, right? We've felt it. So today for our practice on yogagirl.com, we're going to do a slow flow. I'm not planning I don't know why I even say that because I never plan these classes. They become what they become. But I am sensing this huge need right now to ground, right? To just ground. And I think we all need that. To not spin off into space, right? Right now, we all need to have these moments to really ground into our own bodies so that when we take action, when we fight to continue making change, that it comes from a place of being here, right? And I think that's something that a lot of us struggle with being on or spending a lot of time on the internet and on social media is it's easy to lose your ground, right? And I want to take a moment to honor the amazing people from the Black community who are fighting every day, who are fighting to educate us white people every day, who are taking time and energy and love and compassion and just the space to do this kind of work when really it's we who should be doing this work. And just a moment of gratitude for everyone from the Black community who spent even a second, talking to me this week, talking to all of us this week. I see you. I appreciate you. And we're here with you. So having been muted for about a week, this does not mean that this is over, right? The trend is done. Now we go back to what was before. Absolutely not. I am dedicated to doing what I can, not just around me and on the platforms where I coexist with everybody who's watching this right now, but also most importantly within me. And I'll continue amplifying the voices that need to be heard. We're going to continue having these conversations, and especially if that's triggering you right now, right? Like if you're on your yoga mat, you're excited, it's 10 a.m., it's the Yoga Girl practice of the week, and you're feeling right now like, oh, I just want to get into the practice. Like, can she just stop talking, right? Anything that's triggering, anything that feels like, oh, like it's not easy, right? Or anything that you want to bypass right now or skip ahead. Super important, extra important that in those moments, and especially you who are feeling like that right now, that you stay here, right? That you stay here, that you continue to listen. So today it is Monday, and for the Yoga Girl Daily, I try to align our intention, of course, that we set for the week on the Yoga Girl Daily podcast, and also what we do in these classes. And for this week, the intention that I have decided for us, obviously you're free to set whatever intention you want, but the intention that's really, really resonating with me and speaking to me loudly right now is for us all to listen. And this is a big thing, listening. It's a big thing. And we talk about listening. I talk about listening in this community to all of you all the time. I've had entire podcasts dedicated to the art of holding space, right? In these lives, we talk about listening. All of my trainings and retreats, we share and we teach each other and we learn the art of holding space, active listening, presently listening, which is a whole other kind of listening than the listening we do in conversation when we're just kind of waiting for our turn to speak, right? And I think for a lot of us, especially white people, we've kind of been conditioned that everything we have to say is important all the time, right? Like we're always at the center of everything. And I think that's why for a lot of people, it's been a challenging time to just, hey, sit down and be quiet. And a lot of us go, but what about my feelings, right? What about my thoughts, my opinions? I actually believe that. And it's so important right now to not jump into that place of reaction, of reacting, of being triggered and then acting on those triggers, right? It's okay to be triggered within. It's okay to have conversations that trigger you, that make you feel all sorts of things. What's important is that you acknowledge that that's happening inside of you and that you take a breath and that you allow some space to be brought around that trigger, that we don't jump into reactivity, right? Because when we're reacting, we're jumping into some sort of action that doesn't actually come from a place of truth within the body, but it comes from this narrative in your mind, right? It comes from this story that you tell yourself, these beliefs that you tell yourself all the time. And what we're looking to do in these moments is to respond, right? It's a whole different thing, reacting and responding. Responding means, and it's usually something we learn from having this kind of practice, from spending time on our yoga mats, from meditation, from doing this kind of spiritual personal work. Responding, a response comes from deep within, right? It's the ability to recognize and honor, like, okay, something came my way. I'm feeling stuff about that, right? Something's coming up inside of me. I have a lot of feelings suddenly about what just came my way, whether that's a conversation, something in your life situation, something around this conversation around race, which is it's become such a reactive thing for so many white people all over the world, So how can I, in all of those moments, use my practice, especially if you're in this community, you're a part of the Yoga Girl community, you're on your mats, you're here, right? And drop into practice and take a breath and allow myself some space around that thing that triggered me, around the discomfort that I feel about whatever is happening. And first of all, acknowledge that this is not about me. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing sometimes to absorb, right? Especially if you've lived your entire life being told it's about you, right? Okay, this is not about me. So my opinion is not the one that's the most important right now, first of all. And then second of all, can I just sit down and listen right now? Can I listen to the people who actually have this experience, who actually know what this is like? Listen to the people who live this every day, right? Without jumping into me and mine and my opinions and my thoughts and my feelings. Like this is a huge, huge, huge important thing because there's a lot of people who are participating in this conversation right now, but not listening. Everyone's just talking over each other, right? And for me this past week, the most challenging aspect of this was watching people unable to listen. Yeah, and seeing so much reactivity and triggering. And of course, I have that in myself too, right? So the collective intention that I want for all of us right now is to listen. This week, I will listen. Like it's that simple. And you can choose to adapt this intention to whatever way it really resonates and speaks to you. Of course, I mean listening to Black voices right now. Listening when Black people speak. Allowing them the space and time to talk, right? To really share, to really open up, and doing your part and creating a safe space for that. So just listen. And there is something beautiful, I think, that happens when we tap into that place of presently listening, right? Of being here now while listening. We listen from that heart-centered place instead of listening from here, where we may or may not agree with whatever. It means that you allow yourself to be in a place of present moment awareness where what you are listening to is going to land in a different place inside of you. That's a big thing. And allowing yourself that space to really listen when other people speak also allows you to fine tune your ability to listen within, right? And maybe right now you are feeling totally disconnected from yourself. I'm just a wild guess, right? Especially if you are, if you've been in a lot of drama, and I'm talking to white people right now. If you've been in a lot of drama this past week, if you've woken up every day like, you know, enraged about something other than the injustice that Black people face every day and have for centuries. Like if you're one of those keyboard warriors who wake up every day, like, going to town in other people's comment feeds, like this is a wild guess, but chances are that maybe you are not feeling anchored within yourself right now, right? Maybe you're sensing a bit of a disconnect, right? Like how am I doing here now? And what would it be like to take a back seat right now and just listen? And there is this beautiful connection between holding space for people to speak, listening from a place of presence, and also being able to listen to something bigger than us, right? We have to believe that there is something bigger at play, always, all the time, right? Whether you call that bigger thing, if you call it God or a great spirit or universal love or the universe or whatever resonates with you, it's like listening to people that need to be heard allows you to also tap into that listening for the whole world, right? Where you can actually see and hear those signs when they come your way. It's like fighting for justice in every way is a spiritual practice. It really is. And you're not doing it for your own benefit, but I think it's important to share that when you tune out, when you choose to not listen, when you cut that compassionate side of you away, you are also missing out. And there's this component of spiritual oneness that we cannot access when there is injustice in this world. We cannot access it. It cannot be real. So you can do your yoga practice every day. You can sit in meditation. You can go to all these retreats, spend tons of money, time. But if you're turning a blind eye to the real pain and suffering happening in this world, like you're not in alignment with anything. And I believe that. It's like a strong thing to say, but I really believe it. When we are in alignment, when we are in tune, you're going to feel compassion. You're going to feel and sense this feeling of like, I got to do something about that. I got to help fix this situation. And right now, as white people, the way to help fix this situation is to shut the hell up. To give Black people the space to speak, right? To create that safe space for them to speak, to elevate their voices and to listen, right? And we listen while taking action, right? You might be in the streets protesting, you might be making signs, you might be posting to social media, you're talking to your family, your spouse, your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, like you're doing that active work. But all throughout that, you are listening. So that's our intention for the week, to listen. And I'm going to pull a card. I'm going to pull a card right now. I wanted to share the journaling prompt that I shared for the day. So this was actually, if you tuned in, we had a full moon practice on Friday. And I found it in myself. I was doing this prompt around the full moon. It was just like a prompt that came my way. And I wasn't done with it. I don't know if anybody felt the same way, but I feel like there's way more to go in this space. I just want to share it again, right? So if you felt like you did a lot of journaling here, you can go to a different space, that's okay. But the prompt that we had on Friday that I want to bring into this week is a new way I can rise up and make a change or a new way I can get out there into the world and make a change is. And why I want to share that again is the first portion of that prompt, a new way, right? A new way, because it's pretty clear that what we've been doing, the way we've been living hasn't been working, right? So a new way I can make a change is a new way, right? What is something that you haven't tried before? What is something that maybe gets you out of your comfort zone, right? So if you're maybe, quietly donating and that's your way, like, is there a new way you can actually get out there and fight for justice right now to not continue doing this or thinking about service or thinking about this movement the way you did before? Like, what's a new way you can make a change? And the second part of that prompt, which related to, for me, the full moon and the release and the letting go, is what's in the way. That's a big thing. Like, what's in the way? To make this change, to truly show up, I need to let go of. And this is it's just something to contemplate. You know, what's in the way? What's keeping me from actually aligning myself with this movement to actually be of service in every possible way that I can? And that's a really personal thing. Maybe it's shame, right? Maybe you're in this pit of shame right now and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that this is happening. I don't want to be here. This is so uncomfortable, right? Maybe it's discomfort. You don't want to do anything outside of your comfort zone. You're fine turning a blind eye. Maybe it's laziness, you know, that's also a big thing. You know, maybe it's like, oh, it's a lot of work, right, to be a part of that conversation. Maybe it's fear, like you're scared of being criticized, scared of saying the wrong thing, scared of fucking up. But sit with that a little bit. Like, what's in the way? What's keeping me from showing up 100%, right? What's that little thing that's in the way? And for me, which is speaking totally from the heart, it's absolutely been, it's been two things. It's been fear of saying the wrong thing, which actually is the surface layer of this feeling of, this feeling of, if I fuck up, if I say the wrong thing, that must mean that I am a horrible person. Like, I haven't been able to separate just feedback from my personal value, in a sense. And that's my own spiritual journey, my own wounds, my own stuff that I work on every day. But it's brought me to a place where it was easier for me to be frozen, right? Easier for me to say nothing and risk nothing, right? And have everybody say, you know, good job doing whatever you're doing in your garden every day or on your yoga mat every day, then risking, like, okay, doing it the wrong way and having someone tell you, like, that wasn't great, you know. And to sit with that, whatever's in the way, whatever the obstacle has been, like, that's a big thing, because that's your work, right? That's your work. And that probably, that thing in the way is also what triggers you all the time, right? It's probably that thing in these conversations that makes you unable to listen. So that when you go to the obstacle, you work with that, you work with what's in the way, you'll find something really great on the other side, right? And you'll be able to show up in a bigger way than you thought possible. At least that's my hope. Okay, I'm not going to talk anymore. Let's pull a card. I have two decks here today. I have our Goddess deck and I have the Animal Spirit deck. And I'm going to come back to the Animal Spirit deck just because, I don't know, I feel like it did a lot for us during the pandemic. We were channeling some beautiful things. So yeah, let's close our eyes. And just while I shuffle our cards this morning, just take a moment here now to tune in. And if you want to take a real deep breath right now, just breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Let's do that again. Just imagining this next breath can really cleanse you from whatever's in the way, right? Can really bring about a little more space within. So deep, full breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and release. And letting yourself just become very present. Noticing what's moving inside of you right now. And if your mind is very busy, that's okay. That's how the mind works. That's what the mind does. So see if you can bring some more awareness to the lower ends of the body, right? So bring some awareness from your head, from your brain, maybe down toward the shoulders, all the way down to the low belly. And then from there, bringing awareness into the legs, especially sensing your feet right now. And where you're sitting down, if you can sense this connection that you have to the earth below. Just bring a little extra awareness to those touch points, right? The parts of your body that are touching the floor or the chair or wherever you're sitting right now. And then take a deep breath in, breathing into the legs, breathing into your seat, and breathing all the way down into the soles of the feet. We are here now. We are here now. Let's take one more deep breath in and out. And blink the eyes open. Wow. Eagle. I'm drawing a blank right now, but I feel like this is a new card for us. Is it a new card for us? I know some of you guys, you remember each and every single card we've ever pulled together. Okay, eagle. I don't think we've pulled this card before. This is, we have eagles in Aruba. They're called warawaras. And beautiful, beautiful, beautiful eagles. And I was walking the dogs with my daughter day before yesterday. And right outside our house, like sometimes we see them because we live in the desert and we'll kind of see them in the distance. And one swooped down right in front of us. Like I've never seen an eagle fly that low. And I could see her beak, like the white of the head, like each feather in the wings. It was so powerful. And today we pulled the eagle card. So let's see. Eagle. Okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Eagle, all-pervading power, truth seeker, transforms karma. The noble eagle emanates the light of the sun. This great bird is both physically and spiritually strong and represents mastery over the elements of fire and air. When the eagle appears, you'll soon be thrown into the karmic fire for the sake of your transformation. The eagle pushes us to be our best and brightest selves and stops at nothing to see us shine. Grasp the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think, eagle child. That brought me goosebumps. When in balance, the eagle is bright, radiant, and it challenges. Whew. When out of balance, the eagle is controlling. To bring into balance, step into the unknown. All right. I don't need to explain this card. You're here, right? We're here. We're all here. We're all here. All right. I'm going to take my eagle card with me over to my mat. So if you are anywhere else, we are about to practice on yogagirl.com right now. We're going to have a slow flow, maybe some core work, some centering, some deep breaths. So yeah, if you're joining us on yogagirl.com right now. And yeah, bye Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Stay safe.